If you really want to learn effectively, you gotta go beyond words. And we've known this for a long time. As far back as the 1960s, we see scholarly work showing that things like pictures, for example, are far easier to remember than simply words. And a new study has shown that this even extends to symbols. And I don't just mean hieroglyphics or the artist formerly known as Prince. I mean even literally symbols like this, or this, or that. And this study didn't just do one experiment, they did 5. Across the first 4 experiments, they tried in different ways to test whether symbols or words worked better for memory. In some cases, using more free recall approaches of just saying, hey, can you remember what you were shown before? And in others, more controlled formats to try and address any limitations of that more free association model. For example, things like limiting the category of the symbols versus the words to one thing, or making sure that it wasn't just an issue of being easier to draw the symbol than write out a whole word. And in every case across the board, they found that memory worked better when using symbols rather than text words. And the 5th experiment used machine learning to test their hypothesis of why this was happening. And it supports the idea that the reason symbols work better than just words is that there is what's called dual coding going on. Meaning with words, you tend to limit the connection to the concept to the literal word. Whereas with the symbols, you get both the verbal and the visual connection. And this really all goes back to things we've understood about learning more generally, that multimodal learning that uses multiple senses at once tends to work better than single sense learning. Which is probably why so many textbooks are so boring and hard to learn, because we'd be better off with those picture books from our childhood instead.